Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mitch from We in Tennessee. And today's video, it's going to be the 5 states that I have heard most people coming from to here in Tennessee. Now, I'm going to compare it to the actual list, and no, I don't think I have, the precise data enough to match the real one. Mine's going to be coming from friends, colleagues, just people that I run into, like, hey, where are you from? And so today I'm going to give you that list and we'll see how it compares to the real one. So here we go. In no particular order. Well, no, I'm going to start with the ones that I feel are the numbers 1 and 2, and I think they're pretty obvious. The 2 most popular states that I hear most people are coming from are California and New York. And you're going to sit there and laugh and you're going to be like, of course. And here's the reason why. Because like me, they're trying to escape. You ready for the list? High taxes, definitely liberal politics, cost of living, just so much put together, craziness in education. You guys know all the stories about what's going on, what they're trying to push, their agenda. And they want to come here where it's no nonsense. And it's a red state that just believes in God, freedom, and country. And so the first 2 were probably not that difficult to figure out. The next 3, I believe, were more of just location. So here we go. In no particular order, the last 3 would be Florida. And I believe because we live so close to Florida, a lot of people may be coming here to retire or get away from those hurricanes. I don't know. I didn't really sit there and ask. The other one would be Alabama. And I don't know, too, if that's weather related, family related. And the other would be, surprisingly enough, Michigan. And so maybe Michigan might be leaning more blue also, and maybe that's why they're coming here. And so it's just interesting when you come across these folks and you start to talk. A lot of them do, especially from California. We kind of sit there and chuckle and laugh and go, here's why we left. And we end up just having that similar story, like, yeah, we made it out too. And I'm coming across some folks here on YouTube that say, hey, you Californians needed to have stayed where you are. You're causing high prices and rent and other things like that because it's becoming so populated. And here we go. And if the shoe fits, wear it. But I firmly believe that as a Christian, the doors that God opens, nobody can close, and the doors that God closes, nobody can open. And I really think and feel in my heart that it was a miracle from God that we came to this state with absolutely nothing. As far as, I didn't even know what my job was going to be. We didn't even know where we were going to live. We just landed here in East Tennessee, well, actually Knoxville, and just everything worked out. And I just feel deep in my heart, we were supposed to leave California and come here. And I believe these people that are like, well, Mitch, you're causing all these issues with overpopulation and thus it drives up the prices. And I'm thinking, you know what? These folks are looking with such blinders on. I mean, they're not seeing the big picture here. And here is what I feel God led us here to. Not only live that better life, but to offer a better life. I'm a school teacher. I teach 2nd grade. Last year, I had several students that did not have a male figure in the family. And I felt like I was there to help them out, to be that male role model for them. I have the same situation this year. I have a student whose father passed away, and I feel like I can be that father figure, that male figure that they need. And so before a lot of people start to jump on this, well, Mitch, these are all the issues that you're causing, open up the eyes and step back and see the bigger picture and see what situation, what things could I be here to help rather than all the negative things. And, everybody's going to have their different viewpoints and agendas, and I'm sure they're looking at this through the eyes of their pocketbook or wallet, like, hey, you're causing all the prices to go up and you're causing all of the, housing to be in shortage. but also look at it from the other point of view of look at all the things that we've been able to accomplish with teaching my second graders to respect each other, to be kind, the notes that we wrote for the Blunt Community Hospital's patients, and just all the good things that have come out of us being here. And you just have to sit back and go, what is God doing? He's doing his work here in Tennessee. You know, even though it's a red state, there are still some things going on that I feel I'm here for. You know, and I'm here, number one, for my family. I'm here, number two, for my students being able to cope with everyday life. And so that's my rant on that, if you could consider that a rant. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the real list of the 5 states where most people are coming from here to Tennessee. Okay, so here's the real list, and you know, it kind of depends on who's making the list and where they're getting their data from. This could be totally different from somebody else, but here's the list of the 5 states from 2022. There was a list from 2019, and definitely pre or during COVID would be different than after, but here we go. The 5 states the one that I found to be from other states were Texas, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, and Mississippi. And so again, and California came in number 6. And so those would sound a lot more, you know, regionally, like we're going to move from Florida to Tennessee because we're so close. Definitely North Carolina. And so that one doesn't necessarily reflect a lot of my list, but again, I didn't think mine was going to necessarily line up with all the other ones, but you know, it's different for everybody. So, you know, some of those common ones were definitely Florida. And, you know, I have heard of some people coming from North Carolina, but a lot of times they're just maybe going back and forth, but who knows? So there's how my list compares with the real list. Okay guys, from last week's video, you saw all of those branches falling out, and what I had to do is just go through my yard and pick up all of those branches. And I know you're like, whoa, Mitch, what a big deal after some people's, you know, car got smushed by a tree. And I get it, it's no big deal. I'm gonna just have to go and now cut them all up. And again, from the video I've done before, we don't have city services where we are because we're not a part of the Maryville city, you know, services. And so instead of laying them out on the side of the road for them to pick up, we have to burn everything. And so now I got to cut everything up and then now take time to burn it, which actually is kind of fun if you think about it. Got all the branches and then definitely some lighter fluid and just light that thing up. Okay, so I did a pretty good burn last weekend, but this is what's remaining, and I'm guessing it's gonna take another 2, maybe 3 times, because I just found some more wood behind our garage. So, and it takes a while for this to burn, you know, and so you can be out here for hours just watching all this burn. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, and I'm headed back to the dreaded Yellowjacket Hill. I have not been back there to mow since we took care of the nest, so that's gonna be a little interesting, you know, just with my mind, hoping I don't, you know, freak out too much, but hey, has to get done. Okay, I'm knocking the branches out pretty good here. All I got is that left. Maybe some stray ones around the yard that, man, I just didn't want to deal with at the moment, but this is looking pretty good, knocking these things out. Okay guys, I'm gonna first check this hill for branches and then we're gonna mow. See, I gotta fix this kind of stuff up because that last storm we had, all that kind of stuff just went all the way over this hill. And then I'll be ready to mow. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous, but hey, gotta get back out here. So let's do this. Okay, the hill is mowed. And God says never to boast, only in Him. So I will boast that He's the only reason I was able to mow over here. Oh, almost lost where it was. He was able to mow over their graves because God is good. So this hill is freshly mowed and I have overcome my fear. That's a good thing for any kind of fear. Okay guys, I'm about to wrap this up, but what is going on here? Is this fall already? Look how many leaves have fallen off this tree. Okay, so I am watching the last part of this die down. This is all I have left. Not too bad, right? I just don't know how I guess I can use that little chainsaw for this dude. I don't know, it's kind of giant, but I'll try it. But that's all I have left of the giant, enormous pile I had over there. It just takes forever. Okay guys, there is where the new Smith & Wesson headquarters is going to be. So I'm waiting in line right now because there's major construction going on right here. But there it is. So they've totally changed the Louisville loop right here. But yeah, that's where the new Smith & Wesson headquarters is going to be. Okay, for this week I have one observation, and it actually is an observation that makes me feel like, you know, I'm not a part of the Tennessee norm here. Yes, it's a definite stereotype, so I'm stereotyping just for the fun of it, but I'm on maybe the wrong end or not popular end of the stereotype. And so forgive me for stereotyping, but I'm just going to throw this out for fun. I've noticed in Tennessee, a lot of the guys are, you know, have facial hair, beards, mustaches, and that's what makes me feel like, hey, maybe I'm not a part of the norm here. And that's okay, you know, it's just everybody's decision. But it's just funny, as I'm driving down the road, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pass 10 cars with 10 guys. And normally it's 7 to 8 out of 10 cars with guys have the facial hair, beards, mustaches, and it's almost funny. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if somebody was doing that same thing to me, I would be one of those 20% that don't have the facial hair. And so you might be saying, hey Mitch, why don't you have a beard? And I guess my biggest guess, my wife would agree, I can't grow one. I mean, definitely hair comes out because I shave every day, but I've seen it before where I've let it like try to come out and it's just all patchy and weird looking, and I definitely don't like the feel of it. It's just not something I'm into, and my wife even says, yeah, you better not do it anyway either. And so, but it's just an observation that's a very funny one. So for those of you that are coming from another state here to Tennessee, you thinking about growing the facial hair? Do you already have the facial hair? I don't know. It's just a funny stereotype, and that's all it is. Okay guys, it's been a long time since I've taken you on a morning drive. So we're gonna take you on a drive. Yeah, it's still pretty dark, even though I'm leaving for work later. Got a little bit of cloud cover this morning, but such a beautiful morning. Thought, hey, I can't pass up taking everybody along for the ride. What's really interesting is I see so many kids. It's about 6:30 and they're already up and waiting for the bus. And I'm like, wow, that's a long time to be waiting for the bus. And since school doesn't start till, for us, 7:35, I'm like, man, these guys are out here early. So I got a person right here waiting for the bus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Waiting for that bus. We actually might pass the bus on this road a lot of mornings. I can kind of gauge if I'm running late or early, depending on if I see the bus coming at a certain point. And here the bus comes. Wow, speaking of the bus. So if I see it about this point, then I know I'm running probably right on time. I'm not early. Ugh. See so much roadkill out here. It's just crazy. From birds to squirrels to possums. So we're passing Denso. Denso, if I haven't told you guys already, is a car manufacturing plant. They are probably the biggest employer here in Maryville. Probably somewhere, I believe, like 3,000 employees. That's probably a low estimate. It might be higher, but such a gorgeous morning. Wow. I'm not sure where in the video I showed this new development, but if I've showed it to you already, we're coming back upon it. If I haven't shown it already, we're coming upon this new development. I don't know the official term for it. Apartment homes, condos, townhouses, I guess that might be the same, but it's coming up here on my left. Wow, some of them already have power in them. Okay, so this is where it's going to start to get very busy. Coming upon the Pretzel. That's not a term that locals use, that's just a term that our family uses. This is a place where a lot of the roads converge here. You can see here that the 129 can go either direction. So that truck just took the 129 towards Foothills Mall. We're going to be taking the 129 towards Rural King, Culver's, and then as I come up here, it splits off where I can now be taking the 129. Can be taking that towards Walmart, a ton of food places. So as I come up here, you'll see this sign that says 129 to the left, right here. And so that truck and a lot of these cars are going to be heading towards Walmart. That's the direction towards Alcoa. And I'm going to be following these guys, Rural Kings, right up there, over there to the right. And oh, if I had gone left, that would also take me to the airport, to the Tyson-McGee Airport. So those of us that are going this way, let's see, we could be going to downtown Maryville. This would be the way to go to the Smoky Mountains. Sorry for the dirty windshield, everybody. It's again, the weather is so crazy, it's hit or miss about whether your windshield is clean or not. All right, here we go. So Rural King is over here. Used to be a Kmart. Don't see Kmarts anymore. It's a little game I play at this light. I go with the green. So if it's green, I go forward. If it's red, I'll turn. Look at that sky. Wow. For those of you that live near here, this Black Horse Brewery, pub and brewery, man, this place is really good. We've gone here twice. Great food, very crowded. It's pretty reasonably priced. Probably spend $12, $13 for a burger like you would normal places. That's kind of sad, huh? Because we used to pay $8 for a burger at a restaurant. Okay, so anybody heading this direction would be headed towards downtown Maryville, Smoky Mountains, Maryville College. Quite surprised about the traffic for this early. It's pretty heavy for this morning. And those of you living in California are like, serious, Mitch? Heavy? Okay, so as soon as we go over this hill, I love coming over this hill because you get a very grand view of Blunt Memorial. It's over there to the left. We can get a view of downtown Maryville over here to the right. We're about a half mile, maybe even a quarter mile from Maryville College. And if we hit the college, you cannot go any further south. You're going to have to either go right towards downtown Maryville, or if you go left, you're headed towards the Smoky Mountains. Okay, guys, we're now on Sevierville Road. I kind of feel like I am a tour guide on like one of those buses. There's the sign that says Sevierville 21 miles, Gatlinburg 47 miles. Okay, we're coming upon Maryville Little League Baseball. This is where I came to see one of my students play Little League Baseball. That's what just makes a town, having the Little League baseball fields. So this would be probably the road that anybody from Maryville that's going to Sevierville, you could probably take the 40. But if you were just, not wanting to go up to Knoxville and take the 40 straight across, this is the road you would take to get to Sevierville. Home of Dolly Parton, the new Buc-ee's. Got to take a look at this view over here. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I better keep my eyes on the road here. The only problem is if we were to take this to Sevierville, I would probably take the 40. This is very windy, very narrow. It would probably just take you longer. I don't know. It's up for debate on what would be a better route. All right, guys, I'm ready to turn, so this tour is over.